I don't think they realise how nobody gives a shit about them. Social Chain found out about that and fired me. At the time I was like freelancing with my co-founder doing like organic social stuff.
We worked with a brand, we scaled them to 8 figures because they got to that level, that magic which happens inside the room.
Having staff's great, isn't it?
It's
Having
good,
staff
man,
is really good.
Well, it's also a headache.
Yeah.
But if you've got good staff, I think also having them in the office is like, helps out.
Honestly. So how many of you are in your just one?
No, in the office,
Yeah.
there's 4 of us.
Oh, okay.
And I'll be honest, like my office is probably like a fifth of the size and it's twice as expensive as what you said. So yeah. But there's 4 of us. Literally just because they were in Bristol, we always hire remote. Because I remember I spoke to Sean Frank years ago and I was just like, half my team's remote, half my team's in person. We had more in person then. And I was just like, we can't, we always miss things. Things are going wrong. He was like, it's because you're trying to run an in-person agency and a remote agency at the same time. And you just need to run it fully a remote agency. So any conversations you have in person, you just need to instantly like put it into whatever remote system you have. So
that's what we've been doing.
Yeah.
That is definitely the hardest shift.
Yeah.
Is like going from, making sure that the people who are remote are still in the loop to the same degree that it's well out.
Yeah. You just treat it fully as remote and then that kind of solves everything. But you've got a lot of people in person, a lot of like strong, solid, like big creative strategists in person.
Yeah.
And like you were telling me earlier, the reason you did it. But yeah, what is it?
Having creative strategists, like I have 1 that's remote, 2 that are in person. And I just find it easier to bounce around ideas when we're in person. Even though remote creative strategists are great, and Avia, which is our one that isn't in the office, she's mega. Like she's really talented, but it's just the conversation thing of not being able to bounce around ideas the same. And I think as a creative agency, as creatives, so much of that creativity comes from bouncing around ideas with your team.
That magic which happens inside the room. So tell me about that. What do you think when we say when we're saying this magic about the ideas, creativity? What part of creative strategists and creativity means you can get the results you've been getting and become one of the best creative agencies in the whole of the UK?
I think for me, and my attitude has been to hire creative people instead of like marketing, media buying people. Because I think a lot of creative agencies came from media buyers.
Sure.
Right? They were media buyers first.
Yeah.
They got creative. Right? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, but there's some which have an interest in creativity, which is why they can move over to that quite naturally. But then there's some which are just like, it's just a necessary evil making creative.
For sure, yeah.
And so I think my attitude has always been, because I come from a creative, like filmmaking background, mine has always been, all right, I want people that can do the creative first and I can train them on the rest.
Yeah.
Like it isn't difficult to figure out whether an ad's working or not.
Yeah.
And because we don't do media buying, they don't have to be in the account and, know what a cost cap is. You know what I mean? Like they don't need to know that stuff. They just need to know the, creative metrics. And
yeah. I got 2 questions. First, on what sort of creative metrics are you looking at with your creative strategists? Like what are you training them
on? Like hook rate, hold rate. Obviously the stuff like that actually matters, like ROAS for some brands, but definitely like CPA, stuff like that. CPMs, or understanding why something is the way that it is the main thing. So like, all right, we have a high CPA or we have a low CTR, and then figuring out with the creative metrics why that is, basically, right? So, yeah, but for us, because we're not making media buying decisions, we can just solely look at it from a creative perspective. Like, is this creative getting ads, getting customers at an affordable rate for our client?
Yeah.
That's like the number one thing for us, because we don't have to think about anything else.
Yeah. It massively helps out just being able to focus on that one thing. Something which, so my team originally, all media buyers who realized that creative strategy was the most important thing. And so there's 3 of us who were all media buyers. And then we were just like, we got to learn how to make creative. So we spent like 3 years, just me and 2 other guys, just figuring that out. And so when we started hiring creative strategists, we actually came at it at a different angle. We were just like, we need people who understand media buying and creative strategy. The issue was that type of person just doesn't exist. Doesn't exist in the world. I mean, if they do, they're probably already running a brand or they're extremely expensive. So we had to switch, and when we hired creative strategists, and we do a similar thing, just like look at the creative metrics. But tell me about that. On the creative metrics, it'd be cool. I think people would like to know how you're diagnosing some creative. Have you got any example? Let's say you've got an ad with a high click-through rate and a really bad CPA. Like, are you making any, what decisions are you making?
It's got a high click-through rate, low CPA.
Bad CPA.
Bad CPA.
So high CPA.
I mean, my thing would straight away be to look at the landing page and figure out what's going on there, which isn't my problem. So it'd be tell the brand, or it could just be a simple thing of they're sending to a catalog page instead of what should be like a more educational product page or something like. It could just be a really easy switch, or what we've seen it before where we've made our creative that should be going to like a page which is based around an offer, and they're not. They're just sending it to like a very, to a homepage or to a standard like product page or something. So we don't do landing pages. We don't do any of that stuff. Yeah. So it is purely like the brands inform us and say, oh, we've got X offer happening. Can we push some creative for that?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. It's up to them then to figure that stuff out. So, but if it's like, okay, this has a low click-through rate, then that's a creative problem, obviously. And then it's looking at that we clearly aren't conveying the product benefits, why this product exists, or it's not connecting to the right persona and the right demographic, and so they're not feeling the urge to click, and they just don't have a reason to click.
Yeah. So talking about that, like when we run stuff, I'm like, the number one metric I'm looking at is spend most of the time.
Same.
Yeah, nice, cool. Yeah. So yeah, for brand owners, like when you work with brand owners, and do you work with a lot of brand owners in the UK? Or mainly US, or a mix?
I think we're probably like, it's definitely growing more the UK. I don't know about you, but the UK is massively behind the US in terms of how they grasp onto ad creative and how they see ad creative. My thing has always been UK brands like the idea of ad creative, but they don't like the idea of having to push their brand guidelines to one side, and like they can't get out of that like campaign level marketing, which is like, all right, we'll do a campaign with some billboards and some bus ads and some, like, all right, we'll do some Facebook ads as well, but it all needs to be collectively as one. So many brands struggle in the UK to get out of that, whereas the the US is definitely ahead. So for us it's probably like 70% US, the rest is UK. I think
ours was at one point, like we had 2 clients in the UK. Now I'm running ads again. It's shifting up, but we have the same issues. If it's a UK brand, they often have like a budget for like all marketing. And then like you're 100%. Just like a part of it.
Which is crazy, because then you look at what the US guys are doing.
The opposite.
Completely different. It's like, it's basically like the budget for ad creative is ever growing. For US brands, for UK brands, it's not.
So 100%. I mean, I got frustrated with working with UK brands because oftentimes, like, we'll just make an ad which is just crushing, and then they'll have like a 6-month budget turnaround decision time. And then like that's Facebook moves way too fast for that.
I'm not a fan of volume creative by any means.
Sure.
But I am a fan of consistent. And that isn't what consistency isn't what the like UK brands, larger UK brands anyway. Obviously there are more and more now which are like D2C first, but there are more and more that are coming to that conclusion, which is, oh, actually we need consistent stuff, not, a month working with a creative agency to get 10 ads, and then we'll just rip them for 6 months and then we'll come back.
Yeah.
Like, I just flat out refuse to work with people like that.
Yeah, like a 1 month thing, or
not doing it.
Yeah, not happening.
No, because it's in nobody's best interest. Like, it might sound like we as agencies are trying to get more money out of them, but we're actually not. Like, because it costs us month on month to make the stuff.
Yeah.
So we're just looking out for you to get the best results, and I know that you won't get the best results if you just do it once.
Yeah. I'm in ad accounts with some like crazy ad accounts who are adding 20 briefs a day.
Mm-hmm. Say it's particularly. I don't know whether you're seeing this as well, but now that, like, particularly with US brands, now that TikTok Shop is growing, so many just launching TikTok Shop, ads that have ripped on TikTok Shop, launching them in Meta.
Yeah.
Like, as just a way to reach those volume metrics without having to hire in more agencies.
Yeah.
Right? And like we're pitching for the same brand who's looking to hire multiple agencies.
Oh, yeah.
That wasn't a thing 2 years ago.
No, not at all. And so it's good. I'm liking to see the change in the UK brands. And what I find, I don't want to know if you find this, is when you work with a brand in the UK who actually understands this, they just crush.
Yeah, because nobody else is.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, 100%. Like, you look at... So, Humantra is one of our clients. Mm-hmm. They are based in Dubai, but their main audience is in the UK.
Yeah.
And there aren't many successful hydration brands in the UK, which are D2C, other than Humantra, for the main reason that they run that like an actual D2C brand that are also in stores. Like, it's D2C first, like stores secondary.
Yeah.
For most UK brands, I found it's stores first. Let's get in stores and then we'll think about D2C after.
Yeah.
And so just the way they market just doesn't work out. Yeah, but like you said, as soon as you do work with a UK brand that has their head screwed on and they know what they're doing,
you're just gonna rip.
Completely different. Yeah. And they're willing to try stuff which is different to what others are doing.
So what would your
the same stuff?
Yeah, what would your advice to UK brands be? And you probably spoke to a lot of them on the phone and then decided not to work with them.
Just to get your head out of your own arse, I think, is like the main thing, right? Because they're so like, I don't think they realise how much nobody gives a shit about them.
Yeah.
Like, look, you as the founder might think that you have the best product on planet Earth, and you might do.
Yeah.
But no one else knows that.
Yeah.
Until you start to run ads and you properly invest in ads. Like, I've still seen brands who are spending way more on like a media buying agency than they are a creative agency.
Yeah.
That to me is baffling.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, and I do both, right? And I do media buying, and I'm extremely good at it, and I do creative. And people often offer to pay me more for media buying. Which
is crazy though, because like although having someone in the account that knows what they're doing,
it's super important. You
don't have anything to run if you don't have ad creative.
Yeah, and we never just do media buying by itself.
Yeah.
Like, if you pay us for media buying, like you better have really good creative.
Yeah.
You better have like a creative agency. If it's just your internal team, most of the time I'm not going to trust that.
Mm-hmm.
And then like whenever we do media buying, we have to, like, for me, just for guilt, you know what I mean? I'm just I have to attach like some form of growth service to it, like offer testing, landing pages, etc., things like that, because So
do you find that being a full service agency to some extent, do you think that's helped you or hindered?
Yeah, that's a cool question. I like that. I think because media buying has got easier, we are full service in some sense, but we're basically just a growth agency and we grow through creative.
Yeah.
So we're like 80% of the stuff we do is creative.
Yeah.
Like, our media buying is extremely simple. We just put more ads in the ad account. Right?
Yeah.
So in terms of that, there might be some hindrance there, but I think it helps out for the strats, because here's the thing. I find if you're not media buying, sometimes you don't actually understand, and this isn't always the case, right? But you don't get that feedback loop of being inside the ad account and feeling like when an ad really pops off, like knowing the difference between like an ad which is like has some like decent metrics, and then an ad which is like, oh, on the back end of Shopify, we're like, this is insane. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think there's some benefits there, but like in terms of just doing creative, like there's also loads of power in just being able to focus on doing that.
I think for us that's definitely something like, obviously we know when there's a winner, right? Because we are in the ad account.
Yeah.
But you definitely don't see, you see that it's a winner by spend and by metrics, but you don't see the impact it has on the business, like financially, which I think is the difference between pairing it with media buying and creative, I think. But you see so many agencies that were media buying only agencies, which are now
creative. And they're really bad at it as well. I wanted to ask you about, you've got a creative background, like how do you get into ads and how did you get into, what?
So I trained to be a cinematographer.
Cool.
So I went to film school, wanted to direct like and film music videos. That was my stuff, because I love music and I love, like the visual side of it and everything like that. So I was like, this is like the perfect job for me. And then I went on a couple of sets and I hated it.
Yeah.
I was like, I hate that we're spending, like 4 hours setting up for one shot. I was like, what are we doing here? And at that time, I was also running a couple of like Instagram and Facebook meme pages.
Yeah.
Yeah. So mostly like around like US TV shows and stuff like that. And that was like my first sense of making things that go viral on social. Yeah. And I was like, this is sick. Like, this is so cool. And it's so low effort as well. Like, I mean, obviously I was like ripping a lot of fucking content and stuff like that. But I was still making content and I was being creative with the content to do it. Right. And then I worked for Social Chain for Steve Bartlett. Yeah.
Oh, really? No way.
I was Steve Bartlett's head of personal brand video.
Really?
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Yeah. That's awesome. No one does, because I don't talk about it because I think he's an arsehole. But
really?
Yeah. But so I did that. So I got poached by Social Chain, basically. Yeah. They saw a lot of my stuff online. Their head of video. And so I went in and I ended up working with Steve. And then that was my first taste, because they were at the very start of Social Chain, where they were doing viral campaigns for all these brands where they were just using all their meme pages. And obviously I had meme pages at the time. So I was like, well, this is like, this is crazy. Like, I could do this. Yeah. So at the time I was like freelancing with my co-founder doing like, organic social stuff. And then Social Chain found out about that and fired me.
Yeah.
So then I was like, oh, cool. Okay. And then me and my co-founder ended up landing like a retainer for this coding boot camp. Cool. Where they were like training people how to dev. And we were just doing like organic social for them, making YouTube videos, it was super creative, really easy to do. And then that's what allowed us to do what we do, but we were only doing corporate stuff. It was super boring until we started working with brands like Pretty Little Thing and like Boohoo and stuff like that. And again, I saw the impact of social paid ads, and I was like, this is amazing. And then lockdown happened.
Right.
And then I saw that there was an agency, I still can't remember what they were called, but they were basically an ad creative agency, as we know now. In the US, they were the only ones that I could find online. There was like them and the Harmon brothers. Yeah. Like, that was it. Yeah. And I was like, wow, like these guys just like work with brands and they do everything. And I spoke to the founder. I like found him on like Facebook and like, like direct messaged him. And I asked him, he was like, yeah, so like brands just like send us the product and then we just like, they had this massive warehouse studio and everything. I was like, that's sick. I was like, that's so cool. So then I got into a community called Ad Leaks, which was like...
Tim Bird.
Yeah. So like I got in the...
OG.
Yeah, the early like Ad Leaks community. And I was... Their Ad Leaks, the paid creative agency used to sponsor an Ad Leaks. So then I went down that rabbit hole. Yeah. And then... It just happened at the time where lockdown happened And so the idea of people sending products to an agency and we can do everything was like perfect. So like I would argue we were like probably one of the first proper ad creative agencies, like solely ad creative agencies in the UK.
Yeah.
Because of that. And then our first client was Connor from the Essence Vault.
Yeah, no way.
Our very first client. Yeah. He was in Ad Leaks and he posted saying that he was looking for some ads. He had one tiny warehouse room at the time. And I was like, yeah, sure, yeah, we'll do some. I think we'd made like one ad before that. And they were shit. They were some of the worst ads. Like, they did not perform. They were pretty dreadful. And then, that just started it. And then from there, I just started learning more about creative strategy and ads. Ran a couple of drop shipping brands myself. Yeah. To try and like get the
feedback loops. And
to just learn about media buying because I had no idea about it. I knew how to run ads to a very basic level.
Yeah.
So, when like TikTok ads first launched, ran up a couple of drop shipping stores. None of them ever made any money. No. But like they got purchases from the ads and stuff.
Yeah.
The profit margin was so bad that it was just not worth it. But yeah, I mean, it's a fucking long answer to your question, but like, just that. And I think the main thing that I like about it, and this is what I say when like people come to work with us, is it's one of the very few creative jobs where you get a response for what you make straight away. Like, when you've done a good job because it gets a load of spend and it's the best feeling ever.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's and you don't get that in any other creative industry. Like Molly, which is our newest strat, she joined us in January. She came from like B2B copywriting.
Yeah.
And she was like, it was boring and you never knew
product descriptions and things like that, or
it was mostly like personal brand LinkedIn copywriting stuff. Yeah. So it was like fairly like boring stuff, but she was like, you never really knew when you did a good job or anything like that, whereas with this it's just instant.
I love it, man.
It's great.
Honestly, like,
it's so sick.
I always tell my team, so when we first hired some strats, we had a few who were media buyers and strats, right? So every time we made an ad, we put it into the ad account and we're just like, I've made the best ad ever. It's going to take loads of spend. And then like, most 9 out of 10 times it doesn't, right? Yeah. And so we hired a couple strats and I was just like, how did your ad do? Like 3 days later. And they're just like, I don't know. Just like, you need to figure that out. Like, so that was one of the learnings I had, is like, you have to try and make sure the strats are in the ad account and like.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think, I mean, all of our strategists, I beat into them that they have to be checking, the ads every day to see what's working, but also to figure out why it's working. And because I think that's the main thing. I think actually one thing that I've really struggled with, and I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on it, is obviously your strats are working on multiple accounts.
Sure.
And they are making ads are launching all the time. How much time do they have just to sit in an ad account and just sit down and figure out why something is working and why it isn't working? Because I think that's needed, right? I mean, I don't make ads that often anymore. But when I do, because I can manage my own time, when they are live, I can sit down and figure out why they have worked and why they haven't. Yeah. Whereas a creative strategist, when they're working full time, doesn't have that luxury a lot of time.
Yeah, I think it's a cool question, and also it's an awesome story. Sounds like when ad leads, I want to know what year that was. Like when all this happened around COVID, was it 2019?
2018, 2019.
Yeah. So back then, I just want to show the difference. I was working at a fashion brand, and I would basically just go onto the Instagram, copy the photos, and run them in the ad account. You know what I mean? There wasn't creative strategy.
Exactly, yeah. This is the thing. That's why I think we started at the right time. Yeah. Because it was when people started to value creative away from...
It was way before. It's way before I did.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like... This the thing is that no one was doing that. No one was making specifically ad creative because of that reason. It was an afterthought for most people.
Yeah. And it just worked as well. Well,
yeah, it did. Yeah.
I imagine yours worked way better. Like,
well, I mean, at first they didn't because we didn't know what we were doing. But that's the thing is that even when like UGC first started, when we started first making UGC videos in like 2020,
something like
it
like
was
TikTok
like,
around TikTok. Yeah,
it was like, fuck, you could put anything up.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it would work.
Yeah, yeah.
It was sick. It was like you could literally have like if you made some of the stuff that now that you made back then.
Yeah, nothing.
No.
It's going nowhere.
No.
It's going absolutely nowhere. Yeah. But this cool thing actually is that a lot of the big brands still haven't really reacted to it properly.
No.
They're still making that same old I'm obsessed UGC or whatever. I mean, I'm obsessed does kind of work still. But
yeah, well, this is the thing. I think that's the difficult part is some of those ads still do work.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so you can't directly say, let's not make that because it doesn't work. Because there is a chance that it might work.
Yeah. And it's like, and also there's some, with the UGC creator specifically, there's like people who have it, people who don't have it. There's some magic in specific videos and things like that.
It's so much is down to the creator.
Yeah.
So much of it. Like you can have like, there's been so many times like me or one of the other strats has written a really good script.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, this is going to rip.
Yeah.
Like, or we've got it back and I'm like, wow, this is like 10 times better than I ever thought it was going to be because of the creator.
Yeah.
And even then, like we did one for a perfume brand. And like when I read it, it was like one of Molly's first ads. When I read it, I was like, this is really good.
Yeah.
I was like, like if you could make more ads like this, I'll be like really happy.
Yeah.
I got a really good UGC creator to do it. I saw the edits. I was like, this is going to rip. This is going to be so good. Failed.
Yeah.
And I'm still on the fence whether it was throttled by the media buying.
That's yeah. I mean, that's
a little bit.
We can talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, my thing is flexi ads.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think they can throttle performance?
Throttle performance.
Well, hold back what could potentially be a winning creative.
So, in my experience with flexi ads, the brands what testing ads in flexi ads, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't like that.
Yeah.
I would be annoyed if someone did that. Yeah, 100%. Because I want the feedback as well.
Yeah.
So when we're talking about flexi ads,
because obviously you can't see any feedback either. It's like it's so difficult.
So yeah, with flexi ads, I'm not doing anything testing with flexi ads. If someone tests my stuff with flexi ads, I'm telling them, can you please stop doing it?
So do you when would you use a flexi ad?
I'm using flexi ads all the time.
When you know they're winners.
Yeah, so if I have a scaling campaign, like every so often, I'll just make a new flexi ad with 10 of them. You know what I mean?
10 of the already considered winners.
Even if they're already in that ad account, I'm putting them as a flexi ad, right? And it will be top spender probably, right? I mean, it can sometimes be an issue if like some of them are my ads and some of them are someone else's ads for like counting out the money at the end, because you can't really do that. But that's the only situation when I'm doing it. Yeah. So you have situations where people are testing with flexi ads.
Yeah.
I imagine that happens a decent amount.
Yeah.
Do they throttle performance? Yeah, I imagine they throttle performance, throttle knowledge. Like, how do you get a good hypothesis back from that?
That's the difficult thing. Yeah. Like me and Molly were talking. I was like, I find it hard to believe that this ad couldn't have got more spend.
Yeah.
Because like this like taps into the perfect persona. It's like it's shot really well. To me it was a really good ad, and I feel like if we made that same ad for a different product, it would have worked really well. But I could be wrong, and it might, potentially it was just a bad ad, and I didn't think it was. But that's where media buying does have a massive impact on creative. As much as creative is the most important thing, it can still be.
Yeah. So I think with us, like, if we see bad media buying, like, we'll just call it out straight away. And we're like a lot of our clients will just, who we're just doing creative for, will ask us for media buying advice as well.
I think, that's the one thing that I've always struggled with, is I always say up front, I'm not a media buyer.
Yeah.
Like, don't bother coming to me with questions about that, because I'm not going to be able to answer them. But I still do. I get them all the time.
Yeah.
And if I can, like, maybe spot a bit of bad media buying.
Yeah.
But I'm not in the position where I can be like
super confident.
yeah, I can be like, this is crap media buying, like you need to do this to fix it, which I think is one of the difficult things when you're a solely creative agency.
Yeah. And so do you have a vetting process for when you work with brands in terms of like looking at their ad account and having media buy? Or not really?
I look at their current creative and see whether we can do better.
Uh-huh.
There's been a couple of occasions where brands have approached me and they have really good creative.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not going to lie, like, you know, continue what you're doing. I think it's just like, you know, you just need to make more and do more.
Yeah.
But I think obviously if brands aren't spending enough, that's a big thing.
Yeah.
Because I think when you're investing in a creative agency, you're going to be getting a lot of creative back. You don't want it to be a waste if you can't afford to spend on it.
Yeah.
And also, you know, I think a couple of brands have come to me and they're just not at the right point. You can just tell they don't like making creative, so they're like, "Oh, I'll just hire an agency to do it," which is fine. Yeah. But you're just gonna you might just end up in debt because you're just paying an agency you can't really afford to pay.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to do something. But yeah, our vetting process is usually just like, do we feel like we can help them?
Mm-hmm.
Do they have a high enough spend?
Mm-hmm. Simple as that. Yeah. It's pretty similar for us. Do you do any performance deals, or are you always just straight retainers?
Straight retainer.
Yeah. So that allows you to do that. With some performance deals we do, you know, the media buying has to not be crazy. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah, I've always liked the idea of performance, obviously, but I think it's so difficult when you have to invest money into making the ads.
Yeah, big difference. Yeah.
Like, I couldn't, you know, make some high production ads that's cost us 1,200 quid, 1,300 quid on a performance deal that we might never make it back. It's just, you know.
And then they don't even run the ads properly.
Exactly, yeah. And it's like, what? I've just thrown money down the drain. So, yeah, that's why we've always done flat fee, because it does make sense for the way that we work.
Yeah, definitely.
I think.
I mean, the studio setup you've got and everything you're creating is completely different to what I'm doing. It's insane.
Yeah.
Like even this room is cool.
I think that's because there's just, this is the thing though, is that there's agencies like yours, there's agencies like ours that fit different types of brands entirely.
So on that, like you mentioned earlier that when you audit brands' ad accounts and you're like, okay, we can help this brand. Like, I mean, we can't help this brand maybe. Like, what do you see when you see a brand? Like, what's the perfect brand who should work with you maybe? Like, what are you missing? What's going well?
They want to diversify their ad account.
Yeah.
Is like the number one thing now. So they don't just want UGC.
Yeah.
Like, we'll make just UGC, sure, but I'd like the okay from the client to do kind of, you know, whatever we want. Mm-hmm. So that's one thing. Like, they want some diversity. If I'm looking at the ads in there, if they have fairly crappy looking UGC, I'm like, we can do better than that.
Yeah.
But then on the other side of the spectrum, if they have really high end ads, and they're coming to us, I'm like, no.
Really?
Yeah, because although we can shoot with nice cameras and everything, we aren't a TV ad shop.
Yeah.
There is like a limit to what we can do well.
Yes.
And we've done it in the past where we've said yes to stuff, but we've done it really badly because we just don't have the ability to do it in-house. So I think that's like a big thing, is picking the right agency and getting in touch with the right agency to do what you want to do.
So talk to me about that. Like when these brands have high production, so I've got a different thing. When brands of high productions come to me, I mean, oftentimes they're not coming for me for high production, so that makes a difference. But they come to you and they ask for high production stuff. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
And
there's high production, then there's like high production. There's like, fuck it, it may as well be like a TV commercial.
Yeah, this is what I mean. But they want more of that instead of like one diverse range.
Yeah. For like for us, the highest level of high production that we'd go is like, we do some like product videos. Right, where it's like nice lighting, backdrop and stuff, like nice promo shots of the product and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, that's like the seal. And then we have like spokesperson, VSL ads, fake podcast ads and stuff like that. Like, that's where we are in terms of the high production stuff.
Yeah.
We've had ones where like people want on location like a big way higher end. Like, this may as well be a TV ad.
Yeah.
Not only is that unrealistic to do for a Facebook ad,
Yeah.
because it might not work.
Yeah.
It's also like just not right for us. 'Cause it's just not the type of thing. Because I think that's really important, is to find where you are in the market, which I am constantly flip flopping about.
Yeah, tell me about that.
Well, because you don't know. There's so many creative shops popping up all the time. I'm sure you also think the same thing. Like, you see other people's work on Twitter and you're like, fucking hell, I wish we were making that. You don't?
I got too big of an ego.
No, yeah, I'm massive imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
Massively. And it makes me wonder whether it's because I'm a creative with no history in marketing.
Maybe.
Potentially, but...
No, I'll add. What happens is, I'll see something on Twitter, I'll send it to my head of performance, he'll tell me, I don't think that's going to work, mate.
Yeah.
Like, you're getting, like, shiny object syndrome. Yeah. And then that sorts the situation
Well,
out.
no, yeah, they're definitely... Obviously, the more ads that we make all the time, the more that, you can see, like, there's a couple of agencies where they'll post, like, high-end stuff that they've done.
Yeah.
Not like high-end, but, like, more like high production incentive, like, it's a bigger production.
Yeah.
And I'm like...
You like that idea of, like, actually shooting it and doing it and stuff like that.
But then I'm like, that ain't going to perform.
Yeah.
But then they consistently keep on making it for loads of different brands. And I'm like, well, it must be working to some degree.
Yeah. I haven't seen it really perform, but when we work with Perfect White Tea, there's been like 20 creative agencies in that ad account. Yeah. And some of them he paid massive fees to, way more than me.
Yeah.
Kind of annoyed about. No. And like some of them are super high production, made for TV, and like my stuff outperformed it.
Like, okay, we make a lot of fake podcast ads.
Sure. I haven't done any apart from AI ones.
Have you ever seen them rip?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just not very good at them then.
Nah. Rip, like, I've definitely been
like
beaten.
Top spenders.
Yeah, top spenders. But usually, okay, this is the thing. Usually, it's in the... I think this is one of the... So when I was asking you about creative diversity earlier, and when you mentioned about the high production ads, like, if a brand comes to me like that, I'm trying to be like, what is your ad account... This is what you said. What is your ad account missing? And oftentimes, and it's not often to be fair, because most of the time they fail, but sometimes they do really well. But they definitely just seem cool, which is why people are buying them, right? Like why brands are buying them and things like that.
Yeah.
But I think they work really well if you're a brand who has relatively low trust.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. See, I think the better way to go with high production is like a really well crafted, scripted shot like VSL.
Yeah.
Because that's like a nice middle ground.
Yeah.
Because it looks nice to a degree, but you're probably mixing in other formats as well. For us, the best format across the board has been like mixed format ads. Where we're pulling in high production stuff, UGC, AI stuff, like...
All in the same ad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That stuff always works. Way better than, like, even like everyone loves fucking street interviews. Never seen them perform in any ad account.
Street interviews...
I've been in ad accounts where there is some big street interview agencies in there.
Yeah.
And they are
not doing well. Yeah, I found that I ran street interview as a cold email offer a few years ago.
Because everyone wants them.
Everyone wants them. I didn't get results from it, but I also didn't deliver very well. So I don't think that's me. I don't think that's the street interview problem. But yeah, I've never seen them that high up in the ad account either. No. So I'll give you that one. But
again, I think everyone wants them.
Sounds good.
It sounds good. They look good, but I've never seen anyone talking about results of them as much as they talk about how great they are.
That's a good point, actually.
I've never seen anyone like post actual results with it.
Yeah,
like you posted like founder ads or anything like that.
And everyone's just like, yeah. Well, there's like a couple people just like, yeah, I'm doing this, and they crush it. And I'm like, yeah, they crush.
Yeah.
They work really well
for sure. Yeah.
You do founder ads as well, right?
We do. Yeah. I mean, for us, it's just like, we'll make anything that performs that we have scope to do. So founder ads is they're just really good ads that are easy to make.
Yeah.
And when they're done well, they've really done well.
Yeah.
And again, but it's so reliant. It doesn't work for every brand because not every brand wants the founder to be on camera or is interested or anything like that. But when you do find the right brand and they have a good story and everything like that, then it's just dynamite.
Clicks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also like I always say, because people always ask me with founder ads like, what ad should I shoot? I almost just say just shoot whatever ad you were going to shoot anyway. Just try doing it in a founder style.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? Like if you're doing a bottom of funnel ad, do a founder bottom of funnel ad.
Yeah.
Like if post-it note ad.
Yeah.
You know, remember those were blowing up for a while?
Yeah.
It worked okay for like a month maybe, I think.
Yeah,
but we still chuck them in every so often.
Yeah.
Just do a founder post-it note ad. Try it out. It'll work.
Yeah, no, it's true. Yeah, like if you just take that angle and just run with it, like people connect to it because they understand it.
Yeah.
That's why it works, and way easier to produce for the brand or, you know, whoever. Yeah,
it's super easy to produce. You can just pick up a camera and shoot it. Oh, I love it.
Exactly. Yeah. But I think, again, people overcomplicate it, so they think they're like, it can't be that easy.
No.
But
this is one thing I've seen. I don't know if you've seen it. Is like they'll be like, no, I want to do it in a studio like this.
Yeah.
Which is fine, right? But then like you plan it out, they pay a budget for it. They've never actually been on camera before.
Yeah, freeze.
They freeze, and even if they just like get through it, it's like you need to have like a lot of reps, and which is why I think if you like the people who just like make 3 TikToks a day for a month, and then like go on it.
Yeah, I found the best ones are where the founder is just selfie style holding the camera, because not only is that easier for them because it's less friction, they feel more confident because they don't have anyone sat there watching or anything.
Yes.
It also just feels very personal.
Yeah.
Because it's the way that you'd speak to someone on FaceTime.
Yeah, but they just feel. But then, especially with UK brands, it's just like that's not what an ad's supposed. But in their head, they're thinking,
yeah, that's not what an ad's meant to look like.
Right.
For sure, that is so true.
Right.
And like, you know, the black stuff. John came down here. We shot some like more high end stuff because we know that founder ads works for them. We've done tons of them.
Yeah.
Came down here, did some studio stuff, didn't perform as well as his lo-fi stuff.
Yeah.
The only reason we wanted to do that was to test out the founder stuff in a different format, in a different way. And it just didn't perform half as well as just like, you know, lo-fi stuff.
Yeah.
But that's the way.
Yeah. So, okay. What would your advice be to brands like who are spending $200K a month and everything they're doing is internally, creative wise? Like, what's your advice for them?
Get an agency.
Yeah?
Yeah, because not to stop your internal people making stuff. I think the best position a brand can be in, they have a really good internal team and they have a really good agency. Mm-hmm. That combo is unreal, because you have the brand making stuff very quickly, probably much faster than an agency can do, but then you have the external view and external ideas of an agency.
What do you think the power of an agency is for a brand?
People say it's because you're in multiple accounts and you can see what's working, but I don't think that's what the power is. I think it's that it's an external party looking at it, that multiple external people are looking at the same thing. Mm-hmm. And also you have the freedom to do things that a brand might be scared of doing.
Yeah.
As well.
Can you give me an example or something like that?
I mean, just doing dumb ideas that a brand wouldn't want to put the budget into, but because the brand isn't in control of the budget that we spend on, like we can do those crazy things. Like we've done a couple of like fake game show ads and stuff like that, and like stuff that is so
out of scope for them
that they wouldn't even do it in fear of, well, if it doesn't work, God,
I wouldn't even have a clue how to shoot that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, but for us, doing that is completely different to anything else in their ad account. So we'll see if it works or not.
Yeah.
But for us, we can make that work budget-wise because we're making other stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
Would you advise them to work with... So for brands you're working with right now, who's scaling the fastest? What are they doing?
Not paying attention to what people are saying on Twitter about like what's working.
Yeah.
Like everyone's saying that AI ads are really good. I haven't been on like an actual brand account, not like a flash in the pan brand.
Yeah.
An actual brand account which is running AI slop ads, as everyone's calling them.
Yeah.
I haven't been in a big brand account that's running them successfully. Like a big brand, like, you know,
a real brand, like a legacy brand almost.
Yeah. But I don't know. I think just not listening to what everyone else is doing and just really focusing down on what's working. I think my camera's died. I think of what's actually working, and then just paying attention to what's working on your account and doubling down on that.
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah.
Because if you spend so much time trying to replicate other brands and competitors all the time, you just lose focus of what is actually, you know, like if you see that founder ads are working really well, but then you get distracted by AI ads or whatever else.
Yeah.
Well, those days or whatever that you spent making these other ads, you could have spent them making more founder ads, and you could have
100%.
You could have an extra $100,000 in your account.
Yeah, I literally spoke to someone booked a consultant call the other day with me, and they were showing me their ad account, and they were running founder ads, and they were crushing, like spending a lot of money on not a lot of founder ads. Like they're probably like 10 ads, spending 7 figures a month, and they asked me like, how do I hire a creative strategist? So they actually were right. They needed creative diversity in the ad account. I agreed with that. But also they were asking me like, how do I scale? I was like, you just need to make more founder ads. These rip.
Yeah.
Like
it's clear what's working.
Yeah.
Follow that. Yeah, but because they've probably listened to what everyone else is saying all the time.
Yeah.
They've lost focus of what's actually working in their account.
Yeah.
Or they don't want to listen to what's in their ad account.
For them, a specific issue was it's working so well they didn't need to think about it, and then like it dies out, and then they shoot another one and it works. So they specifically asked me, just like, when I hire a creative strategist, like, how do I train them? Which is why I did the training guide thing, because I was just like, okay, people need to know this. And I was like, if you hire I want to know what you think about this. If you hire a creative strategist, are they, for that person who's insanely good at doing founder ads, are they like, I wouldn't get them to help you with founder ads. I get them to do something different.
It depends in where you are as a business. Like, because you don't want to be the business. If you like, do you want the business reliant on you to make these founder ads all the time? Like, I think bringing that creative strategist to do different stuff.
Yes,
for sure.
Yeah.
And then you carry on what you're doing, but then you should also be training that person to do the same thing, so that eventually they can replicate those ads. Because otherwise, you end up in a position where the person that you're paying to make ads might not be making any winners because you're stopping them
from doing it.
Yeah,
it's a good point. My advice was like, get them to help you with the organization and the ideas behind the founder ads.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because then it's like, the guy was very busy and just didn't have enough founder ads in the ad account, but he was a demon on camera. Unbelievable. Yeah. And I was just like, I don't think this person is going to be very hard for them to be as good as you on camera.
Yeah. I mean, the founder should always be on camera if it's the founder.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah, but they don't have to be writing it or thinking of the strategy.
Exactly,
I think that's where you could bring in someone else to do it.
Yeah.
For sure.
Awesome. I mean, the thing is, from what I'm seeing is, this is what I mean, it's sort of leaning into it. I'm leaning back into it. It's like the brands who are scaling really fast literally just don't care about what the creative looks like too much.
No, not like that is that is such a massive thing. I think that there is a limit. Like, you can have shit looking stuff.
Like, if it's embarrassing.
You're like, I don't really want to put the brand name on that. But I think in terms of like, that shouldn't be. You shouldn't lead with personal opinion. That's like a massive thing. I see so many. Literally had a conversation with a brand, like one of our clients today, and they were like, I don't know whether this is like on brand enough. I was like, what does that even mean? Like, what does that, like, you can't be making ads with that like idea. Like, that isn't how it works. And that's just again, it's just like the marketing mentality. It's like, this is what an ad should look like what you believe an ad should look like. And it's like, well, is that what your customer wants the ad to look like? Because have you seen some of the stuff that works on TikTok Shop? Because that stuff ain't an ad. And they're probably making more sales than like your actual, meta ads are.
Yeah. So when you talk to brands, like, how you kind of reframe that with them? Like, what are you saying to them? Like, it's always the biggest problem. Maybe it's more of a help for agencies.
I can be very harsh, and I feel like I might come across as a bit of a dick sometimes when it comes to this kind of thing, because to me it's so simple. It's like, look at some of the biggest brands and look at their ads, and like, are you guys, do you think that they're having that conversation in that office, being like, we shouldn't have run this because it doesn't look on brand enough?
Yeah.
The chances are they're not.
No.
Like, you're probably thinking about this way more than anyone else is. And again, I think that comes back to the, like, what an agency does different to an internal team, because an agency doesn't have that, is this on brand enough idea.
Yeah.
They don't have that. They just make stuff with the idea of the goal of sales.
Yeah.
And I think that's the difference. So yeah, when brands come to me with that, I say that, I'm like, do you think there's a possibility that you're thinking about this more than more than your customer is?
More than you need to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember one of the lines we use is like, hey, you might be right here, but let's test against our, like, what we think, you know what I mean? And maybe it'll work. And the thing is, what I always try and tell them is, like, if it doesn't work, it's not going to take any spend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And also, it's never a complete waste, because not only have you learned that thing doesn't work, but also the chances are that there is probably usable stuff in that ad that you can use further down the line anyway.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a line in the script that worked really well, or you can just take that and use it as a voiceover instead of use the footage, or like, there's like a million one things that you can do with that footage or that ad that doesn't necessarily mean like that ad is the finished article.
I also think it's slightly more sinister as well, is when you have too many rejections on branding things, nothing gets done, right?
Yeah.
That your team gets discouraged from trying new ideas.
Yeah.
Everything starts to look the same. The QA process, it takes 2 weeks to, like, from writing a brief. I mean, for your process is probably longer than mine. Yeah. But like, if I can write a brief and turn it around in 3 days, that's like what we're working towards.
Yeah.
So it's just because it's all post-production.
Yeah.
But then, like, if there's a QA which takes 2 weeks, like, we've almost forgotten, like, why we made this ad and things like that.
Yeah.
And then it's been in the ad account for a week, and then
100%.
You forget.
Yeah. Particularly with how fast ad creative, can go either way.
Yeah.
It's pointless spending that long on a piece of media.
Yeah.
It's completely pointless, because it's a waste of time. Like, you could have launched like 5 or 10 different ads in that space of time.
Launched it, got feedback.
Yeah.
The Facebook will tell you if it doesn't work.
Yeah,
or not.
exactly. Yeah.
Boom.
It is frustrating, but the only way these brands are going to learn stuff usually is just by getting stung, and then they're like, oh, actually.
100%. You're getting stung. So this is a common thing is like, they'll move to an agency who makes the ads they like, and it just doesn't work. Yeah. And then in that situation, it's actually much easier for you to get your answers through. You know what I mean? Yeah. If it's a new brand, which I've worked, like, for example, we worked with a brand, we scaled them to 8 figures, and then they shifted to, because they got to that level, and they were like, we're now an 8-figure brand. We need to look like an 8-figure brand.
Yeah.
And they just completely got rid of everything which got them there.
Yeah.
And then results just tanked.
Again, because they think that that's how it should be when you reach that level of a brand.
Precisely.
Like, ads need to change the way they look, but again, look at the big D2C brands
who are massive,
who are huge.
Yeah.
They're making the same type of ads that scrappy dropshippers are making.
The scrappy drop. That's the thing. I mean, you probably dealt with this. You work with a lot of like good brands, like strong brands, like. They can demand a higher ROAS, I think, because of all the things which are built. Mm-hmm. Whereas like drop shipping brands, they're like super good at ops, super good at logistics, extremely small teams. Mm-hmm. They usually just have a lower ROAS in general, just because like their brand. I think there's like a brand. If you have a good brand, you get that brand ROAS. I like to think of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's when you work with a big brand and you're just like, wow, when you put in the stuff which the master marketers are doing, you just get these insane results, which is when you can get it to work in the UK. It's just like, it just rips.
There's definitely a difference between like big brands, the results that they can just get, compared to like, you know, smaller brands have to work.
Yeah, exactly.
Stuff, big time.
That's the question I want to ask you on hiring. So when you're hiring, like, what qualities are you looking for? You're looking for creativity. What experience are you looking for?
I think now we're growing more. I'm looking for people with experience in the role that I'm hiring for.
Yeah.
Now, less than I was like last year, because we're just at a different point in the agency where I don't have the time
to train.
Not necessarily to train, because I'm happy to train to an extent, but not from nothing.
Don't have the time for them to get to the level they need to be at.
Yeah, like we're hiring now, and like I've had a couple of people who are much more inexperienced than other ones, and I'm instantly now drawn to the person that's more experienced, even though I'm like, it's quite annoying because I don't want to be that agency that only hires people that are well experienced, because people do need a chance, and that person might be really good.
Yeah.
They just don't have the experience. But it does get to a stage in the company where you're like, I just don't have the time or the resources to be able to be able to do this. Like, I just want you to hit the ground running.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
I think a year ago it was harder for them to have the experience, like significantly harder because it's a new role. Don't know what you think about that. And now, with you, Alex Cooper, Dara Deeney on YouTube, like there's not, if you're applying for a creative strategist role, there's not much excuse.
100%.
For not.
Yeah. But then again, there's also a lot of shit out there when you're looking at the applications. You're like, how are you this bad when there's this much out there?
Well, yeah, 99% of them are terrible.
Yeah.
Not even close. Yeah.
Yeah. I think with creative strategists, I'm looking for people which are not necessarily creative strategists, but are creative people, and I can see growth. I can see potential in their growth to be able to get to the level where I want them to be. With creative strategists, I have more patience for training people because it is a relatively new role.
Yes.
And it is a complicated role, but I think you do have to have worked in a creative position beforehand for different types of role that existed, that have kind of always existed. I want people with experience. I think like in that role. But yeah, creative. I think because I'm a creative strategist, I have a bit more patience.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to train that stuff because
you understand it.
Yeah, and it's fun, isn't it? You know, so it's like I'm not too bothered.
Do you mind telling me about like how you train? Like some things you do?
I've just made creative and film myself making the creative.
But for training your strats?
Yeah.
So what do you mean by that?
So instead of doing like written SOPs and stuff, a ton of looms where I'm making an ad and going through the process.
Okay, cool.
Essentially my YouTube videos, but in way more detail.
Yeah. So like going through like research, you're like, literally, this is how I'm researching, everything like that. Oh, cool. That's awesome.
Because then their first week is that.
Yes, watching everything.
Yeah. And then that allows them to, then after that, it's like, okay, here's a client, go make some stuff. Because I QA every script that goes out.
Really?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Like, so the training is ongoing.
Yeah. Always has to be.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. So, yeah, I just make some ads, they watch, consume that content, and then go from there.
In terms of, this is something I found, I don't know if you found it, is when new creative strategists switch from ad format, like aka they go from a UGC ad to a founder ad to maybe like some static, like sometimes they find that jump really hard. I don't know if you ever found that. Yeah.
I think, definitely actually. Yeah, because they're in the mindset of doing that, particularly more for like video to static.
Yeah,
I think is difficult, but they just get the more they do it, the more reps they get in.
Yeah,
the better they get it.
The faster the feedback loop is, and if you're actually like telling them like.
Yeah, and again, that's why I've really enjoyed building a creative strategy team in house compared to remote, because the feedback loop's way faster.
Yeah, magic's in the room.
I think so, and it's difficult because it limits who you can hire massively.
Yeah.
But I think there's more value in there.
Yeah.
In the long run, I think.
This is probably my last question, I think, and then we can wrap up. But for a brand who wants to hire a creative strategist and to build an internal team, right? And maybe they're not good at ads. Let's say the founder's not good at ads. Mm-hmm. They have ads which are working, but they're not good at ads. Like, how would you advise them to build a team?
Probably go and poach some people that are already doing it. It's probably like the logical answer, right? Like, if you're not good at making ads, then you need to find people. You need to at least find one person that's good at making ads that can then hire other people that knows the qualities that you need from that.
Yeah.
I think probably that, and then to get that person, you're probably going to have to look at an agency.
Yeah.
And poach someone from an agency to brand side.
Yeah. Why do you think poaching from an agency is important?
Because I think they'll have more experience than a brand.
Yeah.
Because again, like they've probably picked up a lot of bad habits from a brand side that they won't have from an agency side.
Yeah.
I think agency is just a different way of working that I think adapts.
Yeah. You have to work with loads of different brands.
Yeah.
You get to see like all of the different pieces of like marketing, and then you have to work. Also, like you have to make more ads probably. Like
exactly.
More ads.
Yeah.
Feedback loop. You have someone who's training you who's probably better at it.
Yeah.
If you just work, and also it's like you can be. This is one thing I found as well. Is like you can be a master of one niche, and that's like great. That's a really good quality. But then if you want to switch to another niche, that first time switch, some people just can't do it.
Yeah.
They just get like we had one creative strategist who came from like a supplement niche, and we tried to get him to do other stuff.
Yeah, it was struggling.
Everything just looked like a supplement ad.
Yeah, and I think that again, I've heard that people have, instead of a creative strategist for an agency, instead of a creative strategist per client, it's per niche.
Yeah.
Which does make sense, because creative strategists definitely do have certain strengths in certain niches.
We have that because basically we have fashion strats and then everyone else strats.
Yeah. The fashion is a different beast altogether.
Yeah.
Like we have one fashion brand.
Yeah. Is it a proper fashion brand or a problem agitate solution brand?
No, it's like a golf apparel brand.
Okay. Yeah.
And yeah, that is purely just people are buying on vibes.
Yeah.
Which is what fashion is, and it is really difficult.
Yeah.
Thankfully they have a really great attitude to our creative, and they're just willing to test anything.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, fashion's a different beast.
Yeah, I think we've managed to do quite well because, I mean, all of my first few wins, and I worked in-house at a fashion brand, and so I was able to pass that knowledge over, and then I was able to hire people who understood fashion and then teach them marketing. That was actually the harder thing to teach as a fashion thing, rather than the marketing.
Yeah, no, I agree. I bet. Yeah,
for sure.
Nice one.
All right, man. It's been awesome talking. Thanks for having me here. This awesome studio.
Yeah,
it's been great. I think we provided value for people.
I think so. We've been going for like an hour and a bit.
Really?
I think so. It's half. It's 4:40 now.
Shit.
Yeah, we're going for a while, man. Yeah.
No, it's been great chatting, man. Thanks for having me down.
No worries, dude. Appreciate it. Thank you, man.